Welcome back to the Stephen A. Smith Show. Before I get on out of here, I had to talk about a story that's very, very important. And albeit indirectly.
You might want to sit down for this one, because Stephen A. Smith just dropped a reality bomb that has the entire WNBA scrambling for cover, and it changes absolutely everything we thought we knew about the future of women's basketball. We all knew the tension was high. We knew the locker rooms were divided. But nobody expected the Players Association to literally crash out and blow up their own contract this early, thinking they hold all the cards against the league owners. But here is the kicker, the part that everyone is whispering about but refuses to say out loud until now. Stephen A. isn't just blasting the league for their greed or their timing. He's practically confirming that Caitlin Clark has already made her move. It's not a press conference, and it's not a public letter posted to social media. But make no mistake, Clark has effectively resigned from the drama, and the consequences are about to be catastrophic for everyone involved who thought they could bully the golden goose and still cash her checks. Let's get straight to the crash out, because this is the domino that started the entire chain reaction. The WNBA Players Association officially decided to opt out of their collective bargaining agreement 2 years early. In plain English, they ripped up their contract. They looked at the packed arenas, the private jets finally being chartered, and the skyrocketing TV ratings that shattered records every single night, and they decided it was time to demand a massive pay raise. They want a slice of the pie, and they want it right now. On paper, that makes sense, considering the league is growing at an exponential rate. But Stephen A. Smith points out the one glaring, fatal flaw in their master plan. They are demanding a fortune from a business that has only been profitable for about 5 minutes. And they're doing it while actively antagonizing the only reason that money exists in the first place. They are betting the farm that the viewership is here to stay, regardless of how they treat the star attraction. And that is a gamble that could leave the entire league bankrupt. While the union was busy shouting about demands and equity, Caitlin Clark made a move that spoke louder than any picket sign or angry tweet could ever hope to. She rejected the Unrivaled League. For those who don't know, Unrivaled is the new flashy 3-on-3 league founded by Breanna Stewart and Nafi Sakir, the very same veterans who have been competing against Clark and, in some eyes, perpetuating the cold shoulder she's received all year. They went to her with a massive payday, reportedly offering her over $1 million for just a few weeks of work, equity in the league, and the red carpet treatment. They assumed she would jump at the cash because, historically, WNBA players have to play year-round just to pay their mortgages. But Clark said no. Stephen A. sees this as her soft resignation. She turned her back on their league, their money, and their ecosystem. She chose to play golf, rest her body, and step away from the noise rather than give them the clout of her name. It's a silent power move that says, I don't need you, but you definitely needed me. This is where Stephen A. Smith really went off the rails in the best way possible, dissecting the situation with the kind of brutal honesty that the WNBA establishment hates to hear. He's calling it the ultimate fumble of the bag. The veterans and the union are demanding equity and revenue sharing, which is completely fair in a vacuum. But you cannot demand a share of the Caitlin Clark money while simultaneously letting players headhunt her on the court and dismiss her impact in the media. We've seen the hard fouls, the side eyes, the exclusion from Olympic rosters, and the constant media shading all season long. SAS argues that the jealousy is blinding them to the business reality. They're trying to squeeze the golden goose for golden eggs while trying to cook the goose for dinner. You can't have it both ways. And by opting out of the CBA now, they're betting that Clark will just stick around and take the heat forever, fueling their salaries while they treat her like an outsider. Let's look at the numbers, because they don't lie, even if the feelings in the locker room do. The average WNBA player needs this CBA raise to survive and live a comfortable life without going overseas to play in dangerous or exhausting conditions. Caitlin Clark does not. With her massive Nike deal rumored to be worth nearly $30 million, plus huge endorsement from Gatorade, State Farm, Wilson, and others, her WNBA salary is basically pocket change. It's less than 1% of her annual income. Stephen A. Smith hammered this point home with ferocity. Clark is the only player in the league who can walk away tomorrow and still be rich for the rest of her life.